Thanks for watching. You can find me at twitch.tv/CosmoRetro or anywhere Cosmo Retro online. And you go to Steam, you can find my first game, Dreamdasia, if you want to check that out. And there's an upcoming bigger game coming up.
More games to come with myself involved, which is the plan. You can also find me really at twitch.tv/JMosier89. Lately I've been streaming Crimson Desert, and I just stream RPGs. So yeah, you can also find me anywhere Nerds of the Northland. We appreciate y'all. Thanks for coming.
Have a good week.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome
to episode 33 of Nerds of the Northland. Getting up there in numbers, pushing closer and closer to a year, and we'll have to do something special if we get to 52.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, but today we are going to go over something we've kind of gone over before. We've gone over like our favorite RPGs for certain systems. This time we're going to go over our all-time 20 favorite RPGs.
In the whole world.
Yeah.
In all of existence.
Yeah, and these are a lot of retro, and some of these entries are going to include more than one title. We didn't feel like we wanted to give them their own slot, but we'll talk about more than one title in the same area. But we're going to get started with number 20, the first one, which has been famously speed ran by our own Cosmo Retro, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest.
So yeah, I'm in the top 11 or something. I do last place, but it's in Mystic Quest 100% speedruns. It's one of the best retro games that are of all time when it comes to playing like a no story type deal with elements and RPG elements with the Final Fantasy series. The Japanese thought we were dumb, and well, maybe we are, but anyways, no.
You can look at it as they thought we were dumb, or they were testing the waters to see if RPGs would sell in America. That's a nicer way to say it, but yeah, they thought we were too dumb for traditional RPGs.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I was trying to make that wacky, but yeah, no, exactly. So Mystic Quest is a pretty good game though. If you want a simple, fun game that you can see the monsters. Normally, you can 100% it by getting all the equipment, all the magic spells, and all that good stuff. But no, it's a fun game just to play through even once if you're just a casual player.
Yeah, something I've
on the Super Nintendo
became interested in recently because of him is these older games. It's really interesting the glitches people find, the things that they do with the game that was never meant to be done. I always wonder what the developers think when they watch people do these crazy things. Like, I can't believe that's possible.
Right. I guess there's a shop glitch where, and there's an underflow glitch in Mystic Quest where basically, just to say it kind of quick, you can make sure the number goes under 0, which is 255, and then you can make it so you can skip parts of the game that way. I mean, this video's on, well, my own channel, Cosmo Retro, but go to Puexo.
Yes, this is cool to see how much time speedrunners and people like that have put into these games in order to find these weird random things that there's no way you would come across normally, which makes sense because developers didn't want you to do that. So, but it's interesting. But we'll keep moving here to number 19, which I've had to put 4 games here. The Phantasy Star Series starting. Series, starting with, I think number 1 was on the Master System, up to number 4 on the Genesis, which 4 is the best, obviously, but it's really interesting how all 3 are connected to the same universe, to the same, they're all like little islands that are like gold dome things, and they're all connected, and like the first one takes place like 100 years before the last one. It's like every 25 years, something like that. But I don't know, it's generational in the same world, building to the same ending, which is kind of interesting. So I don't remember them tying games together like that much back in the day.
That sounds awesome. I actually don't have too much experience with Phantasy Star.
Yeah, and 1 and 2 are really like archaic, I guess. Hard to play, but interesting for the time for sure. And I really didn't get very many RPGs from Sega at that time.
Sega!
Yeah, I think Shining Force, which almost made this list, but didn't. So I think we're gonna keep moving. Or
next on number 18 will be The Legend of Dragoon.
Gust of wind, dance.
Turkey step.
Yes. Go. Go. Blazing.
The classic PS1 RPG and double slash.
Constant rumors of a remake. Constant rumors. Don't let me down, Square Enix. Don't let me down. Oh yeah, I forgot Insider. Might happen.
It might happen.
Wink.
It might
Wink,
happen.
wink.
Wink happen. The Legend of Dragoon it took what was like 1996 to 2000 or something like that. When you start the game, it says like how long it took to make it, but it's a long time. Sony Computer Entertainment America.
Yeah, and I think at the time, like FF7, they spent $150 million. I think maybe they spent more on Dragoon.
Perhaps
it was like the most expensive or the most longest development cycle at the time. Or something like that.
It's a crazy good game though. I mean, it came together pretty well, story wise, and when one thing that stuck out is when you're in the dungeons, there's an arrow that goes green to yellow to red for the encounters.
Yeah, or like the battle system was just genius for the time. Like it worked so well. Even to this day, it still works. It's choppy and like runs at a weird frame rate and feels weird compared to new games, but it still works well. Yeah, definitely.
Number 17 is Final Fantasy IX. Which I'm actually kind of at the beginning of the game. Oh no, I've got to disc 2, but he can explain it more.
Yeah, I just recently, when I got my Switch, I went on a Squaresoft. I got like pixel remasters. I went on like a Final Fantasy binge, and 9 ended up being in there, and it was actually the first time I played through it. I'm 36. It's the first time I played through Final Fantasy 9. But as I did, I started to realize why people put this as one of the greatest of all time. Like, it's very linear, and there's not as many far-flung side quests to do, but there's plenty to do. But the story and the cinematics and the battle system and the armor system of getting abilities from armor, it all worked so well.
They blend old school and new school.
And screw the card game, because Triple Triad, like, until Rebirth, they haven't gotten even close to matching Triple Triad, and they're still pretty far off, but
true,
still good.
Amazing game.
Yeah.
Next, actually, Joe has also played, not me, besides Fantasy Star. Number 16 is Crimson Desert.
Yeah, and
Listen to nothing. Make arrangements to see it finished. Quietly. As you wish, my lord. Do you have a place in mind?
Yeah, and this is a recent one, and it's surprisingly a lot of my favorite games come from nostalgia, but this one I just finished like a month ago, and I played from release, and oh my god, I'm not done with it yet. I moved on because I wanted to play Final Fantasy Rebirth, and that sucked me in. But I finished the story mode of Crimson Desert, and man, the progression of your skills and the millions of different ways to do quests and go about your day and build your camp and race your horse and go to the trader and load up your wagon and bring it to the trader. And
honestly, one of the best looking games while having a big open world with side content I've ever seen besides Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA.
Yeah, and a shout out to Pearl Best for being so responsive to all of our complaints. Like almost everything that was an issue at the beginning was fixed immediately with a patch and made better. And I've heard they've done more. I'm like 2 patches behind now, so I don't know what they've added since I stopped playing 2 weeks ago.
Man, you put that many hours in 2 weeks. It's awesome.
Burning through them, man.
Number 15 is Super Mario RPG. The Legend of the Seven Stars on the Super Nintendo from 1996.
Bowser's your friend! What?
Bowser is your friend, and Peach, and Toad, and Yoshi, and, well, they're on your team, but they're friends. Okay, so Squaresoft and Nintendo, had a baby.
And it was great.
Super Mario RPG is that baby, and you know what? Kind of linear, but hey, it's really fun. Really, the music is memorable. Even the story. Sometimes you'll play games that have a story that is linear. And later in life, you're like, oh, there's only a few games you actually remember the entire story, and that would be Super RPG. Going from the first continent, go to the forest, then about the Booster Tower and all that stuff. So
yeah, and they did really good at the dark story and the dark undertones. They did really good at keeping the upbeat Mario feeling.
Yes,
it still felt like a Mario game, but it was dark and intense at times. And I have to take a second here to talk directly to Nintendo. Why did you make me pay $70 for a remake with no new content? Stop it, all right? I understand you have to make some money, but it's full price for a remake with no end game or side quest added? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Cheers.
Stop it.
Cheers. Nintendo, hire me.
But after that, we can move on to one of my favorite games from the PS2 era.
Number 14.
Final Fantasy 12.
Final Fantasy 12.
Yeah. And this one, I know it might be higher on the list for a lot of people, but there's so much to compete with when we're talking about all RPGs I've ever played and loved. So
I usually hear this is underrated, actually.
Yeah. And a lot of people might rate this lower, yeah. But I really enjoyed this game on the chain system. What are they called? Aeons? What were the summons called in that game? But the summoning system, whatever it was called, I can't even remember.
Can't remember either.
But yeah, that was really cool.
It's bugging me now.
And the exploration, which goes with the chaining, where you could like I forget what mine it was, and chain like 7,000 skeletons. But
I actually know I know I can picture that mine. I know what you're talking about. Anyway.
And the grandness of everything, how big everything was. Like
right.
The huge cities and the huge ruins and the huge Ifrit, the airships.
People make fun of the band because he looks like a weaker version of Tidus. It's like, who cares? Everyone's different. And you know what? The cool thing about it is it's about the story anyway. And then maybe we can like other characters too. And you know what? What about Final Fantasy 9 with him?
Yeah, Zidane. But
ended up being really cool though, thieves.
Yeah.
Or having abilities. I mean, anyways, anything else about Final Fantasy 12?
Well, the one thing is I actually haven't played through it. I played the original with the original license board. I haven't actually
board.
I have the international version now on my PS2 back there, but I've never, and I have they have the pro license board. I haven't played that version yet, so maybe I should play through Zodiac Age because I got it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, I have Zodiac Age and I have the old international version, like PS2 version.
Nice.
I don't know. Sometimes the original is just better to play.
Right. Oh yeah. The next game, though, the remake or the remastered, is just as fun as the original, but even better actually in some ways, with how smooth it is and music. But Final Fantasy X. Ten is number 13.
Yes, 13. Yep, number 13 is Final Fantasy 10. Losing place here. Yeah, I love Final Fantasy 10. I gotta mention Blitzball right away. Played a lot of Blitzball.
Not a fan.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Yeah, I think.
Does it make sense? No.
It was interesting, but I mean that's not really all of it. Going from Final Fantasy 8 or 9 on the PS1 to this, the graphical change, the way the people, it was real modeled people and not like
PS2 era.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
one of the best games of all time. One of the most heartbreaking games of all time, actually.
Yeah, very emotional story. And then they made another one where they try to look for someone who doesn't exist.
Yep.
Let's not mention 10-2. Let's just move on.
Yeah. Number 12 is Pokemon Gold and Silver. One of the best games of all time in my view. One of the best Pokemon games because it was like the first round except it was like the first what's the word?
Generation?
Yes, it was like the first generation except way better and it was still memorable Pokemon. Like before they started like getting towards later.
Well, was that the one with the new world where you could beat it and unlock the old world?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, I remember those.
Yep.
Those are great.
And it's one of the greatest selling games of all time too, but it's for good reason. I mean, it's just phenomenal.
Did they ever do that again? In any other versions?
Oh, yeah, I think the original Red too, maybe it was sold a lot too.
Yeah, I missed a lot of those versions up until like recently.
The next one coming up though is another really good one.
Yeah. I guess mostly Fallout New Vegas. So I'll give this one to number 12.
11.
Number 11. Number 12 is Pokemon Gold and Silver. Number 11 is Fallout New Vegas.
You got what you were after, so pay up.
You're crying in the rain, Pally.
Guess who's waking up over here?
Time to cash out.
Will you get it over with?
Maybe cons kill people without looking them in the face. But I ain't a fink. Dig. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
New Vegas. We have to give an honorable mention to 3476. I mean, just the Fallout.
Yeah, sometimes we're yep,
Yeah.
The entire Fallout series basically we're just putting here just to throw it out there because they all have similar elements in the RPG world and going in and it's like the Fallout was actually my first experience in an open world. I mean, if you don't count the PS2 GTA games, but in a really big world where you're gonna have different choices that actually affect the world.
Well, and Grand Theft Auto, you were a character, obviously. Fallout New Vegas made it feel really personal.
That's true.
Like, you were shot. You woke up by yourself. You don't know where you are. You're your own person, so you build everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more personal. Because, like, Fallout 4, you're doing quests for a faction. Fallout 3, you're doing quests for the people of, Rivet City or whatever. All these, you're doing quests for other people. Fallout New Vegas was, like, super personal. And the story was great. Now, the controls could use some work. There's no sprint.
And there's a lot of glitches.
And it was kind of glitchy, but...
If you get past that, which is actually pretty easy, people say it's glitchy, but then once you play it, hey buddy, be careful, it's a little glitchy. Usually what happens is you're going to play it, have a great time for 20 hours, and then you're going to find a glitch and go, oh, I understand what they're saying now.
Yeah, and this was 360 era. Glitches were everywhere.
Oh, I guess on that one it was more often, but yeah.
Yeah, glitches were just a lot. They were just
That's true.
something we lived with. Now it's a little bit less acceptable, but...
We've learned how to debug better.
Been spoiled. We've been spoiled.
Number 10 is the Breath of Fire series of only the first 3 games. Breath of Fire 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, and 3 is more of like, this is mentioned because the transition from Super Nintendo to PlayStation was so amazing, but 1 and 2 are what we'll focus on because they're the originals and
the Super Nintendo classics with the amazing music and the whole party following you. In fact, my next game I'm making, Lost Legacy, the party is going to follow the main character just like in Breath of Fire.
Yeah, and it was the dragon transformation thing and the mixing the souls and the story, just like the light upbeat setting, I guess you could say, but the dark undertones of like
good balance,
kidnapping a child that doesn't.
I mean,
it's things.
I should have said good balance right next to that.
But and I do like the I forget, because you do. I do like the growing from child to adult or teenager or whatever. I like that.
Learning your past, learning your dragon history and your family. Yeah,
it's interesting, and they did a really good job. Really in-depth RPG for Super Nintendo era.
And I have a lot of memories with my dad playing it too, so I have some nostalgia. And this list is our favorite. We've done lists where it's like the best of this. This is just our favorites. So.
Yeah, 90%, 75% is probably pure nostalgia.
Yeah.
Some of these games are just like Crimson Desert made it just because of pure quality. But.
Right. I mean, of course, you're going to see a lot that deserve it anyway for the best games of all time, but they're also our favorites. But.
Yeah.
Number 9 is Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Would you look at that? You need to speak the local language in order to make a wish.
You will suffer! Saiyan! Freezer!
No way. It broke. This can't be. The Z sword.
But it's the ultimate sword!
So, you're finished!
Awfully confident, aren't we? Then please, allow me to show you just how terrifying my true power is.
Is that all you've got?
And now, this is a newer one for me to put on like a top 10 like sort of list for favorites for me, but I just love the anime so much. Grew up with it, I still love it to this day. I watch Super, and it's just the best Dragon Ball Z game anyone can make. It's just, for as open world as it can be, I would consider it's pretty open world for all the Dragon Ball Z games. It's not really that open world, you know what I mean? But for the Dragon Ball Z games itself, it is the open world one that you should get and make, but if you want to make your own character, I would go buy the Xeno series, but for Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah, I remember Dragon Ball Z. I think it stopped airing when I was like 13 or 14, but I watched it when I was younger, and going back and playing it is literally the exact same story, but you get to be the hero, which was amazing. It was like reliving my young life. I really enjoyed it, and they did a really good job on the battle system and making the story flow together where
you could fly, shoot beams, and be a Super Saiyan.
And you controlling it made sense. Like, it made the story. It fed into the story.
It really felt like it, too, yeah.
And they had those weird... Well, they had some weird side, like the racing side... I don't know, I wasn't really into that. But they had some cool mini-games you could do.
Right on. The next one is number 8, Pokemon Red and Blue. Now, this is... the original, of course, the one I remember when I was 8, 9 years old playing right when it came out. I had Pokemon cards I gave away at the playground. My dad yelled at me because I gave away my cards. But I remember playing Pokemon Red and Blue also on road trips, going camping. Of course, play outside, but at nighttime before bed, I just had the best memories playing Pokemon and inviting a friend over.
Yeah, and everybody was playing it. That was...
Yeah.
The explosion, we never knew what it was going to turn into. Now it's probably one of the biggest things on the planet.
It's the biggest,
it's crazy. It's like cafes, you have to make reservations for weeks in advance.
If you look it up, there's crazy numbers how much people are, or how big the Pokemon company is.
And I think I started with blue. I'm pretty sure I was a blue guy. But
I applied at 5 positions.
this was also back in the day when the version mattered. Like, it was hard to transfer Pokemon across. Now it's like you can have both. I can have both versions on the same system, I think, and transfer them between myself.
Now, I could have flipped it so that Silver would have been this one, because it is, I did say earlier that this is the second version better than the first one, because you can go back to the... But I put this one here just because it's the first one I remember with all the nostalgia, like he said, you know, with where a lot of this list is nostalgia for being a favorites.
Yeah, started everything. And
Number next.
yeah, nothing that, I guess, I don't know if started everything, but was really unique
I also
for
said
its
number
time.
next.
Yes, next number.
Number 7 is Secret of Evermore. Evermore. Pretty much my favorite RPG on the Super Nintendo, besides a few that we're going to talk about soon. It just, I played it with my dad. It was designed well. It had the same circle thing as Secret of Mana, where you pause and you can, the circle menu, I should say, is pretty dynamic, if you know what I mean. There's going to be a video you're going to see of it, example.
Yeah, that's like the most memorable thing I remember, is the way you push a button to bring up a menu, which is a circle, and then you choose items from that circle to use at the time.
Right.
Interesting, but this is I don't know, I feel like this is one of the very early JRPGs with like Western stuff in it. Like you went to started like a movie theater on like city streets.
So Western Square got permission to make a Western version of Mana, so they made this.
Yeah, and
you can call it a passion project, like Yoshi's Island and like Chrono Trigger, kind of in that way. Because in the documentary, you know, they say that they were itching to make something like that, and they got the permission. They're like, let's go. That kind of sounded like passion to me.
Yeah, and it turned out really well. So I mean, you can tell they put a lot into it.
Right, and back then it was harder to make video games. You know, I mean, it's still hard to make video games nowadays. But I mean, what I mean is the computer capabilities back then.
Yeah.
And anyways, you get the idea. But like, one more thing about Evermore is that the story had acts that were really memorable, and in the sceneries, like going from the forest to the prehistoric era to the Antiqua era, like number 6 is Red Dead Redemption 2.
That belongs to the Jameson Mining Company. On the edges! Get me out of here! Look after Uncle! That grazed you! Oh, damn!
2, one of the greatest games of all time in the modern era.
Yeah, especially, I mean, of all time. I mean, it's one of the greatest games recently, but man, the story is, there's no story deeper. Like, I've never gotten so enthralled in a character, like, up until the very end.
That's what I mean, man. I felt for him the whole time.
Yeah, and like the last ride, I mean, I've never like teared up in a video game, but then that last ride where like you're going to do what you're supposed to do at the end, and it plays that song, and you ride across the whole map. It's crazy.
Yep, I teared during that section and during the Red 13 section today.
Yeah, it's pretty intense, but
good game. Good. That just means good story writing.
Oh yeah, and the gameplay. I mean, you can do so much side stuff to do, hunting and fishing, and gathering materials and making equipment and all that awesome stuff.
Yeah, I beat the game, but I just recently played it back on stream just to be like evil for a day, and you can it's just like GTA back in the 1900s.
Yeah, and with weirder dialogue because they're weird.
And sometimes my buddy Tyler and I were going for a hike, and then sometimes we play GTA. Right? Recently, I said, "Hey, instead of GTA, do you want to play Red Dead?" Okay. And then guess what? He likes it now.
Well, yeah, and I even got stuck playing like dumb things like poker. I got stuck on for hours. Or blackjack.
Well, I guess
blackjack.
I like blackjack. I should go play that.
Yeah.
I'm not a gambling man though. Anyway.
Well, there's not a lot more we can say about Red Dead Redemption. Play it. It's worth it. It's amazing. The story's great. You'll have fun. You can do whatever you want. Live the cowboy life for 60, 80, 100 hours.
Now we're at the top 5.
Yeah. Number 5, one of my favorite games of all time, which I think I don't know how many consoles and systems as I've had this on. I've had this on my phone. Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Alucard, what is your business here?
I've come to put an end to this.
Definitely. And these top 5s are both, I mean, this entire list is our top 20 together, but I agree. Symphony of the Night is one of the best games of all time. Metroidvanias of all time, influenced by my favorite game, Super Metroid.
I think besides Metroid, of course, this is probably the gold standard of Metroidvanias.
Oh, sure. You got that right. If you don't want to play a Metroid game, like you said, and you don't have a Nintendo system, there you go.
And this is, I think Castlevania, it's got a little bit more RPG elements than...
It does.
Metroid did, but it obviously got a lot from Metroid, so...
It has stats. I mean, yeah, I guess... Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good. Alucard. Yeah, and the Upside Down Castle and the... I mean, I don't know. This is one of those games I played to the point where I got like 201% for my...
I've never done that.
Percentage.
I just have it on PS1 and being played like I got through half of it or something, halfway through. A third of the way, halfway, something like that. It's a fun game.
Yeah. Stacks up today even.
Number 4 is Final Fantasy VI. Six.
3 on the Super Nintendo,
Yep.
6, blah, blah, blah. If you're here, you probably know that whole thing. So.
The best Final Fantasy on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's just flat out the best story, the best characters, the best replay value, the best battle system.
And the way a lot of Final Fantasies had like a second world you could visit, the way they did it in Final Fantasy VI was really cool and really deep. There was a really good story. The way they did, yeah, it was really good for the story. The way they did it, the way the world fell apart, and I mean, it was kind of, you get to watch like families get torn apart, and yeah, it was
pretty dark back then, but
for a Super Nintendo
sucked
game,
you in more and just wanted you like, well, I want to know what happens next. I want to save the world. Who's this Kefka character ruining the world?
He's a clown or something.
He's a clown.
Oh, but then when he poisons, that was so intense when he poisons.
Oh, actually, I didn't know what that. I guess I didn't pay attention, but I watched it for the first time after a few years ago. When I was watching B-Dude speedrun that, and he
Doma Castle.
Yeah, Doma Castle. I'm like, oh, he does do that. Oh, that's evil.
Yes, it was pretty intense for like a. I mean, games were very like geared for children back then. It wasn't a whole lot of dark stuff like that.
But number 3 is an RPG. When not many people go here immediately when they think RPGs, but it is A Link to the Past. So. The Past, Zelda. Gotta do it. Yeah. But it is the Zelda game I grew up on. We grew up on and Super Nintendo. I know there's on the Nintendo the Zelda games, but we're actually not that old. We're more 90s, 2000s people.
Yeah, and the freedom of this game, like it wasn't as free as the original, where you can go anywhere, anytime. But
right. And nothing, I'm not knocking on the original either, but yeah,
it was very free exploration. It really set the standard for what we're gonna get for Zelda games from there on out. I mean, it really
made it true, yeah. And in a 2D world, so how do I say this? So in a 2D world, you get to explore the world, and you complete the map, and you feel like you know where to go, and then you start. You get lost at first, but just all you gotta do is go into certain areas back and forth, and you'll figure it out. And Zelda's really good at doing this thing where it gets you a little frustrated, but just enough for you to keep going and figuring it out. And then once you do, you're like, oh yeah, there's a dungeon that just opened up. I might get a whole heart,
Yeah, and there was never puzzles like that in most games.
They've mastered the player experience in 1991. That's why Nintendo's crazy good.
Yeah, and from then on, I can't really think of a bad. I can think of a less. I mean, not like Skyward Sword wasn't super awesome, but it's still a great game. Mm-hmm. From Link to the Past on, I can't really think of a bad Zelda release.
And Link Between Worlds is a good sequel on the 3DS.
Yeah, I do want to try that. It does look really good. Footage. All right, number 2.
Number 2 is Final Fantasy VII. Got you on. Seven, gotta do it one more time. It's amazing. You guys talk about this one.
And it may be surprising that I would put this at number 2, but you'll see number 1 just barely beats it out. But I mean, talking about the original, I don't know. I could probably 100% do it almost with my eyes closed. I played through it so many freaking times on my phone, on every system I've ever owned, on my PC. It's everywhere.
And of course, if you know us, you know that we're heavily playing Rebirth, more him than me, but we're heavily playing Rebirth. And I will say about the original that I wish was more in Rebirth. I wish the original soundtrack to the music was able. Tell me if it is. But I love the remakes of the music, but the thing I like about the original more is that the music is more the original music, like it's the actual tracks instead of remakes.
Yeah,
but I do like the remakes.
Those original, I mean, like One Winged Angel and Tifa's theme and Cloud's theme. I mean, these were very memorable music, and I love that's one thing about the remake. We could play them on the piano. It was so cool. I wish they had more. I wish there was more, but
we have another 1 or 2 episodes more of more Rebirths coming.
Yeah, so I mean, I would include the remake and Rebirth here. Just saying, Final Fantasy VII in general.
All of it, yeah. Let's just
the remake going through the places that you visited in the original game and like recognizing things and going through it's amazing. Like,
right.
Play Final Fantasy VII. Play the remake. Now that brings us to number 1.
Final one. Chrono Trigger. Trigger.
Yeah, and this wasn't only an
RPG of all
amazing
time.
game, but it was an artistic masterpiece.
And it was a passion project that just turned into one of the best games and most influential games of all time. Going back in time, changing things for the future, side quests, getting to know the characters deep. Every character had a reason to join the part. I mean, that's in like most RPGs, but
Well, and the animation stuff was so much smoother in the way like the
Mhm.
people bounced around. It was different than the time. It felt different, but it was so amazing.
and the magic and abilities, you can dual and triple tech,
Yeah,
so the characters can like
and the crazy story and about how like you're basically like the bad guy ends up joining you at one point, and like spoiler, I'm spoiling a game from 1996 or whatever. Spoiler, but yeah.
I have to be anyway.
Early times, but I mean, this was just. I mean, after this, we got Final Fantasy VII. I mean, this is during Squaresoft's like golden era.
Yes,
Yeah.
couldn't say any better. Exactly, it was the golden era. 95 was the golden year, I believe.
When did Enix come in? 10.
What?
When did Square Enix come in? Like Final Fantasy 10. Which Final Fantasy was Square Enix first involved with?
Oh, Enix is more Dragon Quest, more.
I mean, Square Enix when they merged. What was the first?
Sorry, 2003.
Okay, so that would have been like FF13.
10 was the last one with
Okay,
Squaresoft.
okay. So yeah, I mean, and I guess
So
12 changed quite a bit, but it was still great. But
Yeah.
when they were pure Squaresoft, they made some bangers, man.
And Kingdom Hearts was 2002, one of the last Squaresoft ones too.
Okay, yeah, and I guess now's the time for some honorable mentions. I didn't include any Kingdom Hearts, which is pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts should have been on there somewhere.
Oh wow. He's right. I'm gonna say Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, 3, amazing.
That's why these lists are hard, because they can be debated by a lot of people, including ourselves.
I forgot Doom Vegas earlier.
No, when we talked about all the Fallout.
I just meant earlier when we. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
when we were making the list, I was
yeah.
like, and then he started talking about Fallout or something. I was like, oh yeah, duh. Anyway, it is hard sometimes to make a list like this. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean the organization is more to just for continuity, and it makes more sense on the video and editing and things. But
if you want to, if we forgot any games, or if you want to comment down below, like and subscribe. Thank you so much for being here. Have a good week.
Hope to see you next week. I am Batman.
The aliens are here.